everyone, it's Vanessa Kantav here. I'm your hostess next door.
And this is Kiki Monique. You may know me as the Talk of Shame. And we're here with Moms versus Aunts, your weekly, I guess, happy hour. It's sort of
Yeah,
like
it's
our
a happy
happy hour
hour.
moment where we talk
hmm
about, solo parenting, wellness, all the gossip that's happening, pretty much
All of the things.
all of the things through the lens of, Vanessa the mom and me, the fabulous fun auntie.
I mean, totally. And like shout outs, this is our second episode. We got so much love last week. It felt so good. So I feel like the pressure is on. But yeah, thank you for everybody who subscribed and rated and reviewed, and everybody just keep doing that. 5 stars. Okay. So today, what are we gonna be talking about?
I think we wanted to talk about Hot Girl Summer because, I know you and I have been talking a lot about how we're getting ready for Hot Girl Summer. And I had sent you, or maybe you saw it already, but, Will Smith had posted his,
Oh
quarantine
yeah.
lockdown bod on Instagram. And, everyone expects all these celebs to be in total shape right now because they're rich, they have
Well,
trainers,
they're
they have
always in
chefs.
shape.
Yeah, they're always in shape. So we just expected them to be like lockdown bod, not looking like us. Like, why would they be stress eating and all of these things? But he posted his, lockdown bod and he was like, this is where I'm at. And just so you all know, like, I got to get my stuff together too.
I have
and
comments on that post. I have multiple. I don't even want to get all up into it because there was like subsequent things that happened after he posted that bring me so much joy. So, but first, we are going to have our hustle of the week. This week, I have some fun hustles that involve you literally just sitting at your computer. And we're also going to be having our cool down at the end, which, Kiki always brings. So, in the meantime, we need to talk about what the drink of the day is. Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, last week I very much enjoyed the French 75, but I figured because we were doing Hot Girl Summer today that I would do a skinny margarita, as they're called. Um, yeah, you
That's
familiar?
very familiar. I do love margaritas. I tend to just now drink just the tequila because a lot of times when people make margaritas, that sour mix, it just gives you like heartburn. I
Mm-hmm.
can't. And so like when
Mm-hmm.
skinny margaritas came around and it was just all
Mm-hmm.
fresh, I was like, okay, I can get back into it.
Mm-hmm. True story. And I also felt um not because of you, just my own insecurities that I was going to be shamed for not being able to drink tequila. So I wanted to come with a tequila based cocktail right out the gate. So we are going to have 2 ounces of tequila. I know you're not doing this. You're just drinking the same Casamigos over ice, but just pretend. 2 ounces of tequila and 2 ounces of freshly squeezed lime juice. So this is really the star of the whole drink. Like, don't buy that stupid. Do they still sell that stupid little lime that was like plastic
Okay,
and
that's
it
what I
was
was gonna
shaped like a
ask.
lime? And
So
then there
like
was a lemon one too that was
that's what I
shaped
was
like a
gonna ask.
lemon.
Those are not freshly squeezed. When it's the plastic bottle that looks like a lime, that is not considered freshly squeezed,
But do they
correct?
still sell those?
Of
Or is
course
that
they do.
I don't feel like I've seen them around, or maybe I just my eyes auto edited out when I'm like at the grocery store.
I just don't think they're sold in the produce. Like I think they actually tried used to sell them next to the limes. That's where I used to remember seeing them. Now they probably put them like in the aisles where they
I
belong
just
with
don't
the
think that
other.
they're manufacturing those plastic things anymore. I don't
Oh.
know. Well, anyways, not those guys. You're gonna go and you're gonna buy limes and you're gonna squeeze limes. And maybe get one of those squeezy things. I love those. You can invest in those. All right. So if you're so inclined, you can add a splash of simple syrup, which we talked about last week. You guys made it and you can have it on deck because it'll be in other future drinks. But it's equal parts sugar and water, dissolve it, and then cool it down. Okay, so you can do a splash of simple syrup. And if you want to make it a Cadillac margarita, you can also add about like a half an ounce of either like Grand Marnier or Cointreau, or if you ain't bougie like us, you could use triple sec. Um, and you're gonna shake that over ice and strain it if you want it up, or you can just serve the whole thing on the rocks. All right.
Okay. So, and Vanessa, you are gonna have these recipes on your Instagram because I know you tell me the simple syrup recipe every time, but I just feel like, and I know it should be simple, but like
It's right
it's
there in the
not.
name. Yeah.
I know, but
Um,
yeah.
yes, I will. I will post these on my Instagram.
All
So,
right. So nice.
all right. So that's our cocktail, Skinny Girl, or not Skinny Girl, just Skinny Margarita. And you can make it a Skinny Cadillac Margarita if you'd like. And then, of course, if you want to put some coarse salt around the rim, the easiest way to do that is to like just put a little bit of agave on the rim.
But wait, what
And
makes it Cadillac?
the orange liqueur.
The orange liqueur is what makes
Uh-huh.
it the Cadillac
The Cadillac
versus.
version.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
But yeah, it's skinny because you're not using a ton of sugar. That's all. And I
Which
think
is what always gives you the hangover.
yeah, and I think tequila and vodka are also like have like the lowest calories or something like that. That's why they say
Yeah, I
that.
mean, it's why I switched when anytime I go on whatever diet of the week I'm going on, I know that I'm like, I probably should give up alcohol altogether, but I'm like, no, I'm already
I
giving
was
up
literally
bread.
just thinking that. I was like, we're like, how can we still drink but make it skinny? Meanwhile, like I have friends who they're getting ready for hot girl summer by like literally like have not had a drink since January 1st. And I'm like, well, that's just silly. Let's just, be smarter about it. But cutting it out altogether,
I get yeah, I don't know. I just like my tequila. So like, I was watching like the new season of Real Housewives of New York, was came out, and then also The Hills premiered, which I can't
the
stop
hills, that's
watching
from like
these.
100 years ago.
Well, they're back. It's New Beginnings, and all of our faves are
How
back.
old are those people?
They're our age. But they have new characters now. They've added in some new characters. But yeah, they're definitely like they should probably listen to the show because we have some solo parents. We have some people that are going on dates, trying to like, Audrina is, going on dates with Rod Stewart's son. It's a whole thing. But it was interesting because, between those two shows, a lot of the main cast members who used to be like real partiers have given up drinking.
Oh God.
And and in my head, I'm just like, okay, so what are we gonna do? I mean, I don't know. At least in the California show, I know that most of them are probably still Cali sober, as we like to refer to it. Like they may not be drinking, but they're just Cali sober.
Yeah, they're Cali sober. Yeah, they're good. You have to have some kind of a vice. Come on. Well, my drink is delicious. So, okay, back to Will Smith. All right, you have your drink. I have my drink. Okay,
Yeah.
cheers.
Cheers.
So, after he posted that video, two things. Apparently, a bunch of people were sending him DMs of like crazy workouts, and then he did like a montage of those. They were insane. Did you see the guy who was like doing those weird push-ups and clapping and stuff? It was just like there was one where a guy was like, I don't know what kind of exercise he was doing, but he was holding a whole nother person while doing it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I
That one was
remember
also
I remember
crazy.
seeing like, yeah, he had different slides of people like this is workouts you can do, and they were all totally insane. Nobody could do these except like American Gladiators.
And then the second part was he had all these other celebrities who were like joining him on this journey, like who've also decided to do like this 12-week workout challenge with him. And they posted pictures and then he posted their photos. But a couple of them, I think there was like Marlon Wayans or one of the Wayans guys. I was like, you just want people to see what you look like. Because if this is you bad, like nobody has a chance. Like, he was like, his looked perfectly fine, like muscle definition, nothing. I'm like, okay, sure, you're doing the 12-week challenge, fine. But no,
The
I'm not
Wayans
doing a
family is
challenge.
a very attractive family. So yeah, I can't imagine that
I
they
know,
like
like the
let
whole
themselves
family.
the
How do
whole
they have all
family.
those kids and everybody's attractive?
Well, that's why I think people end up having so many kids because when you keep having them, when you have that kid and then they're just like so cute, and then you're like, you keep pumping them out because you're like, wow, I make really good looking people.
um, all right. Well, what are you doing to get ready for hot girl summer?
So yeah, I mean, I definitely, so when I started lockdown, I was so intent on like I want to be as healthy as possible because, this is if I get sick, like, And so at the very beginning of lockdown, I was waking up every morning. I wasn't even drinking. I didn't drink. Like I just talked about, I didn't drink. I gave up drinking. I gave up all vices. I was doing a stretching sort of yoga routine in the morning and then doing like, squats. I was doing very like specific exercises every day. I have never been this disciplined ever. And then once I realized like I had made it past, like I was in a bubble and I was like, we're not getting sick. It all went away. And I just was like stress eating or just regular eating, maybe not even stress, just eating and not doing those things. So now I'm like on the other end of it and like trying to get back on dating apps and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I need some clothes. First of all, I need some like clothes.
Not sweatpants.
So yeah, I found this really awesome plus size vintage store that's really cool. And so I am working with them to get some like outfits.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. I
am
saw that. That was so cute. You did like an IG live for them, like where you got to model the clothes.
Yeah. Don't mind my cat, by the way. I think my cat is trying to have a hot girl
Hot
summer
girl
as well in the
summer.
background. Yeah. Um, and yeah, now I just need to start the routine. Like I had I was gonna do like a whole like chemical peel facial situation before the second lockdown.
Hmm.
And so I have a credit on hold for that. So I'm like, I need to go back and get, my face all peeled off, which is a little hard because, you gotta like be out of the sun for 2 weeks. And yeah, gotta find a new waxer now that I had my same waxer in New York for, 15 years. And
Waxing.
even people are like, why are you still waxing? Just laser. I'm like, because I like waxing, okay? Let me live my life. It's easy and I like it. But finding a new waxer is hard.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
just all the things that you got to do, like the upkeep, to get the lashes back, all the things that like I
It
just
is a
had
lot.
gotten used to not having to
Yeah, not
do.
having, not having.
It's so
I
crazy.
was trying to figure out if can I still walk in heels? Like I don't know. I've been wearing Birkenstocks for a year and a half. I don't know. Like I have all these high heel shoes, and I love me a good shoe. I probably spend too much money on shoes, and like, am I even gonna wear them anymore? Like
I
I
mean,
don't
I gave
know.
up heels so long ago. I don't know that life. I know you love your heels, so I guess you love your heels, so you'll eventually get back into them. Might start as like a slow burn, like maybe just a chunkier heel that feels more like
Ew!
of a
Don't say
platform.
chunky,
No,
chunky heels.
chunky heels are in like a thick, like a thicker one.
I do
They're
have
in.
one pair of shoes that I feel like are the good intro that have like a wider, shorter kind of
Yeah,
heel.
start
So,
there. Training
um,
wheels.
well, I did like I got like a Peloton and then used it for like precisely 1 week, and then like I haven't been on it. Like my mom comes to visit and she's like, "Do you use that thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like when you're not here." And even though she visits all the time, she's never seen me use it. Cuz I don't know what happened. And I put it right next to my bed because I thought if it's right next to my bed, there's just no, I mean, you can't walk by it every day and not like get on it. I had all these ideas of like if I put it right there, that was all I had to
Yeah.
do.
I mean, Peloton was killing it during lockdown. You're like probably the 14th person who told me they got a Peloton during lockdown.
There is no reason why I don't use it. It's a fabulous machine, has all these great classes. There's all these different like instructors. There's like a part of it where you can have like a sense of community. other people you know. That's the shitty part though, is when I first got on it, I acted like I was like really gonna be into it. And so like I definitely like accepted all these friends like friendship on it. And that means that they can all see.
They can see what you're not doing.
They can all see I haven't been on it.
Oh, the
And
accountability.
I can see like that they're always on it because it's like on the app. And like, I mean, these are people who don't like miss a day. Like Shawnee, she's got like Peloton apparel. And I was like, you really like Peloton? She goes, oh no, like they sent me this for like my 100th ride, and then they send you this for your like 500th ride. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize
See,
that
like that's
like you
I
get
mean,
like swag and stuff when you do it, but like I think I have like 6 rides, girl. So I don't. They
I
ain't
love
sending
that
me
they're
shit.
doing that. And like I used to, because I listen to Stern, and so I know he is like a Peloton. He loves his Peloton. And so certain, you could follow certain people. That would be the part of Peloton, the social media aspect of like, who can I friend with on Peloton world? That would be intriguing to me. I mean, for sure. But I love the accountability aspect of it, because I sort of did the same thing. I mean, again, part of my hot girl summer was, I needed to get my eating right. I was like, I've been eating out of control. I'm gonna get my eating right. So I made a huge announcement to like everyone on my social media who follows me that, that's what I was doing. And it's been helpful. I basically, I was like, I try to do vegan/vegetarian from like Monday through Thursday. It's not
Mhm.
total vegan. It's like if there's a vegan meal, I'll eat it, but I'm mostly vegetarian. So I try to just
Mhm.
go meat free from Monday through
Mhm.
Thursday. Fridays, I do my bagel day. I allow myself a bagel on
Oh yes.
Fridays, a nice
Love Bagel
lox
Fridays.
bagel on Friday. And then Saturdays and Sundays, I can do what I want, but I'm keeping it intermittent, and not because, the whole intermittent, just because I need a window of time to eat, like an 8-hour window, and then I don't
Mhm.
go beyond that. I don't, because I'm a late night. I'm one of those people. I could not eat till 6 p.m. I really could, but I
Mm.
could eat until 2 in the morning. And so, like, I need a window that is a specific window. And then after that, it's just, you get your tea, you get your water. Like, there was a song on TikTok that was like, when you want some ice cream, drink some tea. When you like want some sweets, drink some tea. So yeah, I'm all
Does it
about the tea
work?
life. It does, because I got these David's Tea sent me these amazing. If I don't know if you've ever had David's Tea, by the way. Like I wasn't a huge tea drinker, but David's Tea is like, you put them in bags and it's like fresh, these herbs that are like, it's
Ah.
whole, like, I don't know what you would call them,
Tea
herbs and
leaves?
spices and tea leaves, but they're like in holes, like in bags, and then you scoop them out and put them into a bag, and it is so fragrant and fresh, and like
Oh
this is like
yes.
tea like I've never
Fancy.
had, but like all
They
sorts of
call
flowers.
that a sachet.
Yeah, a
A
sachet. It's got like
sachet. It's very
full on
fancy.
it's like got full on flowers, like
Uh-huh,
plants
yeah.
in
Oh
there.
yeah.
And
That nice
so
tea.
our friend Gracia, she suggested, because I don't necessarily want to drink hot tea all the time. It's hot. And she was like, just put it in water and it's the same. So literally I take a pitcher in my, and I put these tea bags in there and I fill it up with water, and that's my flavored water that I drink throughout the day. And these teas are so, like, I have a peach one, I have a Caribbean crush one. They're
Mm.
delicious. It's like,
Mm.
so it does satiate the sweet side. They have an espresso tea that is,
Ah.
yeah, for morning. It is really good.
What was the one? There was one like from back in the day that was always the one for coffee lovers would like. I can't remember if it was like I forget what kind of tea it was, but it had like a good amount of caffeine, so you
Yeah,
kind of felt like you were having, like a coffee.
exactly. Yeah.
Um,
So, I mean, the accountability, like I said, like, it's good, but currently it's not working for you because those people haven't seen you on a
they haven't seen me. They
while.
haven't seen me. They haven't seen me. It's so embarrassing. And yeah, and our friend Shawnee, she like she kind of was. I think she was trying to make herself like my accountability partner, but I didn't really. I just was like, whatever.
You probably need an accountability partner that isn't like a really good friend, because good friends might let you slide, because
She's so
you
nice
tell,
about it.
yeah, they're like, you got the kids, I know you're busy, girl,
You
I
busy
know you're
girl.
busy.
You busy girl. But I did do something crazy to prepare for hot girl summer, and like literally nobody knows this. You know this, but like nobody knows this. Um But after I had these kids, so let me go back. So I have two children, and I breastfed both of my children. And the second time I was nursing Sebastian, only one side was making milk. And no, it's so weird. But like, and I thought it was really weird, but I was like, okay, it was like making enough. So I just like kind of went with that. But then, after you finish, like you're kind of waiting for your boobs to go back to air quotes normal. And like they never really did. It was that one that was like, the overachiever one, like stayed bigger. Like they went back, but they were still like, I would say like a half size difference.
Okay, interesting.
But I have like little tatas. So a half size difference is
notice.
Like, and I was just like, and then I also started thinking about like just when I finally like get to make out with somebody, and then like gravity. It was a lot. So over the quarantine, I had a little mommy tata makeover.
Some new boobies.
But not big, but I'm into it. And I never in 1,000 trillion years would think that I would ever do anything like that.
I mean, look, first of all, when I find out how many people have just had boob jobs in general, I'm always surprised. Like people we've known, right? Like I'm like, oh, you have the boob job? I just thought you had really nice boobs. That's amazing. I mean, some people they walk in the room and you can tell.
I called our mutual friend that who has like the best boobs ever. And I was like, I want those. Where'd you get those? How can I get those?
Yeah.
And she was like, I got these so long ago that my surgeon is like literally like, I think he's probably in his like mid to late 70s now. So she's like, I wouldn't recommend it. And I was like, so I was like on my own. And, but it was definitely reaching out to like my network of women. 'Cause like you said, like everybody knows somebody. So I ended up reaching out to a friend, and I was really happy with like my whole experience. So
and you're still healing, but like when do you get to show them off?
I mean, I guess you'll have to like, follow my Instagram. We'll see.
When does the first bikini get thrown on?
I don't know.
For Hot Girl Summer.
To me, it's a Hot Girl Summer every time I, get out of the shower. I go, oh, look at you guys. Just so different. I'm still getting used to them. And there's all this shit that I didn't know. First of all, girl, it's so many things. It's like once I realized I was going to do this, I ended up on this website that was ironically titled realself.com.
Okay.
Realself.com. It is everything you could know about every kind of cosmetic or plastic surgery procedure. I mean, like there, and you can like isolate by body type. So I'm there to look up, boobs. I'm like, what's the titty jobs? But then I would get like super distracted because I'd be like, what are people doing to their, I don't know, clavicle or something, just like whatever. I'm like, you just zone in on like, there's a million zillion things that people can do and are doing. And these are all like user uploaded, like photos and stuff on this site.
What are you doing to a clavicle?
Not really a clavicle, but like people just have all kinds of procedures, and they're not all like surgical. There's a lot of non-surgical stuff on there. But I don't know anything about like the way they put these threads in your face and like.
Oh, I've heard that's scary. But I am like, most interested in like the non-surgical stuff because I think I'm still, I've only had to do like one surgery, and it was like not because I wanted to, and it was so terrifying. So like elective surgery, I'm still scared of. So I'm like, okay, I do want to have work done. Like what can, the Kardashians seem to be like always doing some non-surgical stuff, supposedly.
Yeah, but they look, I don't know. That's not a good standard. And I could talk all day about how they changed the standard of beauty and all these young girls are like, I mean,
No, I don't
but
think
I'm not, that's
yeah,
another
that's
day.
another topic. But I mean,
Another day. But they are always doing stuff, yeah.
when it says non-surgical, you assume it's like less invasive, but I'm sure it's like, especially like that threading thing we talked about, like it may be like non-surgical, but it sounds like it's like still a bit invasive.
It is. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, and like right now, everybody's doing these weird. Not everybody. Celebrities are doing these surgeries to make like their eyes like more like elongated. It's
Really,
just
like a cat eye?
like your natural eyes, like a little bit more like almondy and elongated, very like Kendall Jenner. You can see it like in her. Anyways, I
Like
was
a
on
lot.
this
There's so many.
website
You were on the site that showed all
for
of these
way
things.
too long. Okay, as I was like preparing for this, and then yeah, so there's all these things, but the one thing that I didn't know until afterwards was so you get your boobs done, and then it can take anywhere from 6 months to 1 year for your boobs to drop, drop, right?
What does
So
that mean?
like so they have to like for them to like settle into like positions. So when they first go in, they're kind of like they're like higher. I mean, they look like you're wearing like this ultimate like balconette bra, like they're all pushed up to your fucking chin. And but eventually they just kind of settle down a little, and that's when you get like a more like natural look. But that can take like 6 months to a year. So I'm just gonna sit here and wait for the boob drop.
Okay. Well, I like phases.
But yeah, so
So that's a
maybe
biggie. I mean, yeah, that's a big hot girl summer. I mean, that's a total redo. That's amazing.
yeah,
Mine won't
yeah.
be as like, I feel like I might have some new shorts. That's it.
Well, I'm not like addicted to this kind of lifestyle. I'm not going to be getting things done all the time. But that for me, that felt like I felt like my body wasn't mine for literally like 6 years. I felt like my children owned my whole body, like just pregnancy and all of that stuff. And it like somehow, some way, this felt like me sort of reclaiming like that part of me that was like before I had kids. And so it didn't feel like as much like a vanity thing as much as it just really felt like I get to like it's me again, like me,
Mm-hmm.
my body. And so it was more tied up with like just self-esteem and confidence. And at the end of the day, I think that makes for like a really hot girl summer is like when you're feeling yourself. Because when you feel
Totally.
good, you look good, you project that good energy. So that's how I got ready for hot girl summer. But my Peloton is still there, and apparently 8 weeks after surgery, I can ride it. So we'll see.
So yeah, we should jump on that thing
We'll see.
and get
Um,
to it. Yeah, no, I
um,
think it's totally about the confidence because the meme that like is my life is just like um hot girl summer, or it's something like hot girl summer is gonna get the body I give it, or summer's gonna get the it's not like
mhm.
summer body is it's gonna get the body I give it, and as long as I feel good, that's all that matters.
That's all that
And
matters,
look, yeah, I
girl.
mean, I think like doing the little things, because again, I'm not doing the diet thing necessarily to just lose weight. I want to just feel good because like I feel like
Hmm.
I've been treating my body pretty poorly, like less active and that sort of thing. So I just want to feel good again. And weight loss will accompany that because, it just does when you do things. But mostly I just want to like look good and feel good. And I already feel better. Again, like I was one of those people that,
I thought you were gonna say, and I already look good and feel good. So,
well, that too. That too. But yeah, I'm like, I didn't, I'm one of those people, you grew up like the same I did, like where you assume meat is supposed to be part of every meal. Like I was like, I never thought like, why would I
hmm.
just eat like not meat at the meal? It doesn't make, it's not it has to be complete with a
And
meat.
it's always like the star.
It's the star. And then our doctor friend, our mutual shared doctor friend, he's like, yeah, I mean, like I would say like 1 to 2 times a week is how much
Yeah,
I, eat meat. I'm
yeah.
like, okay, let me change that up a bit. And the meat I choose at that time is going to be great meat. Like
Hmm.
mostly I'm obsessed with seafood. So I'm always going to probably
Hmm.
pick a fish or shellfish is my favorite, which I know is like, but any fish, any seafood, I will try to make that my protein. And I haven't I've never been a huge chicken fan anyway, so I'm like, I don't really worry so much about that. I do crave red meat every once in a while, especially when summer comes.
Mm-hmm.
I do love pork. I will say that is
Yeah.
like love me
Same,
some pork.
same. I'm with
So
you on all of those things.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so we asked you guys in our clubhouse, which by the way, if you're not following us on Clubhouse, go do that. We do a weekly, just another continuation of happy hour every Wednesday. But we asked a bunch of you what you were doing to get ready for Hot Girl Summer, and here's what you said.
Hey there, my name is Georgia and I live in Atlanta, and I'm responding. I love your podcast, by the way. It's awesome. You and Kiki blow it out of the water. How am I preparing for Hot Girl Summer? I am on day 14 of a 60-day parasite cleanse, which means I take approximately 6 pills in the morning. 30 minutes later, I take a scoop of what they are calling, it's like an internal colon blow situation, and then I finish up with a liver detox tea in the evening. And I can say that it is helping. It's helping move things through my body quicker, and I have less bloating. And yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm gonna get down with my get down. Love your podcast. Bye.
Hey, this is Shawnee from Brooklyn, and I've been preparing all year for my hot girl summer. I've been working out hard. I got me a new bike, and I'm just trying to, wear crop tops and have a great time, drinking a gallon of water a day. So I'm ready, definitely ready to have a hot girl summer.
This is Grace from Los Angeles. I love your podcast so much. I think it is hilarious. So how am I getting Hot Girl Summer ready? I am reading a ton of books and just kidding. I just stopped eating. That's all.
So all this Hot Girl Summer, it costs a pretty penny. We need to make some money. Vanessa, you always have a good hustle, a good way for us to make some money on the side. What is our hustle of the week?
So this week, I decided that I wanted to give you guys a couple things that you can do that are literally just sitting at your computer for a couple hours a day. So the first one is like pretty straightforward. If you ever go on a website and you see that little box that pops up that's like, do you want to chat with somebody?
Oh yeah.
That there's all of these companies hiring chat agents. And
Oh.
so, yeah, so you can just you could work for a company where you get like a small training and you have like information and tools right there for you. But you just chat with people. Like you open up the window and someone comes in and has questions. And while you're logged in and responding to chats, you can make about $18 an hour.
Oh,
And to
18
me,
an
it
hour.
feels
That's
like
higher than
something.
minimum wage.
Yeah, like I kind of feel like depending on what company you're working for and the kinds of chats you have to field, like it just seems like you could almost be doing that and like this is not how I want to promote this, but you could be doing that and listening to like your favorite playlist. Because I'm talking about chatting, like typing. You're not
Yes,
even
yes,
talking
the
on the
chat, like
phone.
when it's like, yeah, do you need help with this site? And then it's like,
Yes.
yeah, jump in
And
there.
you could be like listening to music and like maybe drinking a glass of wine if you're good at that and like, responding to people.
You could probably also be doing your full-time job. I mean, not that
Right.
but I'm saying you could be doing multiple jobs of doing that. You know what the most interesting thing though? I heard this on a show one time about those chat agents. So, when it pops up, sometimes like, it might be I want to return something to like whatever. And so I'm trying to think of a reason because I know that there's like a weird policy and I'll start typing and then like delete and I'll start typing and delete. I found out that once you like go into those chats, they can start seeing you type the minute you start typing.
Oh.
So like,
so if you wrote like shit, and then you tried to write like delete, they see the whole,
They
they see
see
you
it.
writing it and deleting it.
yes.
That
So
is
if you're like,
hilarious.
I had bought this on Tuesday. Oh wait, no. I had bought this 4 weeks ago. Oh no, they see all that. So just know if you have to like make up a fib maybe about what you need to talk to the chat agent about, just practice on your notes on your computer before you start typing in the box. Just don't use the box because apparently
Oh.
they can see that.
That's funny. I mean, also these kinds of things I bet you come out of with like crazy stories to tell your friends about, like anything customer service facing is always like that.
For sure.
But so those jobs pay about $18 to $20 an hour. If you're interested in those, there's a website, or there's a company called Site Staff, and there's also another company called The Chat Shop, and both of those hire chat agents. All right. My second one, or the next one, there's only two. The next one is one that I think it's because I want to do it. It's literally a transcriber, and it's not anything that is so innovative. They've been around since forever. But transcription to me feels like a way for me to monetize this dumb skill that I learned in high school, which is typing. Like, I actually took typing class in high school.
Me too.
That's how old I am. Like, the fact that like we had to type, like, do you remember that? It was like the round brown cow, blah blah. You had to type.
Yeah,
all
and
those
you had
things
to put the thing over your hand so that you couldn't see the keyboard.
Couldn't see the keys, and like you would do these time tests, and like, so anyways, I type ridiculously fast, and it seems like just such not a useful ass skill in 2021. But there are companies, and this is actually in pretty high demand from what I was reading, is that there's always a lot of opportunities for people to transcribe audio into text. So you'll get tapes or whatever, they send you audio files, and you just like literally just transcribe. And if you like just starting out, they make about $15 an hour, but what they call advanced transcriptionists, which like obviously I would fall into that category because I type super fast, they can make about $30 an hour.
Oh, that's a lot.
So I know. So I did a calculation. If you did just 2.5 hours a day of transcription, and you did it for like 24 days out of the month, you would make like, almost $2,000, $1,800 of just extra income.
That's like rent,
Yeah,
car payment, depending on where you live.
That's like a super manageable side hustle. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't really type that fast and you get the lower end, like $1,500 a month, you make like $50 an hour. I mean, you could make about, $1,000 a month, like $900, $1,000.
Yeah.
But still, like, I mean, there's no shortage of audio files that apparently need to be transcribed. And honestly,
Interesting.
it's one of those things where even if you don't start out typing really fast, it's like a muscle. So you're going to just get faster.
It's going to be like the high school class. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it'll just be like our typing class.
That's what we did. We just basically went in every day and typed things over and over.
Yeah. And so then you probably would, continue to increase based on, how long it takes you to transcribe stuff. But to me, that's just like a super easy one. Like,
that one is super easy.
Yeah.
And you don't have to deal with the public, which can be a little bit more like stressful.
Yeah, these are literally just what you can do sitting at your computer for a couple hours a day. So I have 3 companies that hire. There's one called Scribby. There's one called Transcribe Me. And then there's one called Go Transcript. So those are like the top 3 that both like hire for these positions, but also the top 3 companies that people use when they need to have things transcribed.
Okay.
So that's it. Those are my easy breezy sitting at your computer jobs that you can just little side hustle, make a little extra money. Because remember, how many income streams are we working towards?
At least 6, but 7. I think 7, between 6 and 7, because I've heard both.
7.
But
Okay.
yeah, 7
6
streams,
and 7, guys.
6 or 7 streams of income on our way to millionaires.
Yes, on
Eventually
our way to
billionaires.
on our way to more passive income.
Yeah, just passive income. When the money starts rolling into the account while you're sleeping, yeah, you get it. I love that.
I love that too. All right, well, we'll take a quick break and then come back with the cool down.
Speaking of trying to become a billionaire, we all heard about Bill and Melinda Gates getting a divorce.
Talk about someone who's having a hot girl summer. Melinda, what?
I know. I mean, I think at the signing of the separation, she already got something like $2 billion.
I saw that. He gave her $2 billion in stocks, right on site.
Just to sign. So yeah, she's gonna, he's worth, it fluctuates, but I've heard anywhere from 130 billion to 140 billion. I can't imagine she's walking away with less than 50 billion. But obviously this was a big deal in the news cycle. And when you get into the news cycle, people just start digging for all of these other old news cycles because they just want to talk about you in different ways. And so when the divorce came out, this old Time magazine article resurfaced. And in this Time magazine article, it was claimed that Bill Gates was, before he married Melinda, he was dating this woman. Let me see if I can find her name. Anne. Is that her name? Anne? Let me find it. Sorry. But basically,
we could just call her Anne. I mean, whatever.
Whatever. But they broke up in 97. Winblad is her last name. But they broke up in 87 because, according to this article, she was 5 years older than Bill and was more ready for marriage. And he just wasn't about it. So, but they remained close friends. And even when he was thinking of marrying Melinda, he supposedly called Anne and asked for her approval, which is as somebody who's getting married, to ask an ex-girlfriend,
That's so weird.
And then according to this timepiece, it said that even now, Gates has an arrangement with his wife that he and Winblad can keep one vacation tradition alive. Every spring, as they have for more than a decade, Gates spends a long weekend with Winblad at her beach cottage on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where they ride dune buggies, hang glide, and walk on the beach. We can play putt-putt while discussing biotechnology, Gates says. Winblad
Wait a minute. Okay, I've heard enough. Hold on. They have an annual hall pass?
I mean, I don't know what putt-putt stands for. Is it putt-putt or is it putt-putt? I don't.
It's definitely a euphemism. Wait a minute. So does Melinda get the same hall pass at the same time of year? Does she go off and go somewhere with somebody and then he goes off with this ex-girlfriend?
Again, they're not saying that this was a formal agreement. If you look into their, they don't have a prenuptial, Melinda and Bill. And there's nothing in the there's nothing in any agreements that specifically states there is this quote hall pass situation. This was just something that was mentioned as this arrangement in this timepiece that they said happened, but we don't really have any concrete sort of it was, scribbled on paper that this was agreed to.
Time is a reputable magazine, so that's why I'm just this seems wow, that's crazy.
Well, and it seemed that it's a quote, that they said, because again, they're talking about it from as if, it's like we just do this because we've done this the entire time we dated, and sort of like, Melinda understood that that's something that we do because we talk about, again, playing putt putt while discussing biotechnology. It's like,
Well, okay, first of all, I am not here to judge how other people do it. This would not work for me because I'm too jealous. No, that wouldn't work for me. Like you don't get like a hall pass. Especially he used his hall pass, which what sounds like with the same woman for many years in a row. So like that's weird. Like you just have like this agreed upon side piece is just bizarre to me. But people do it all the time. All the
yeah,
time.
I mean,
If she was allowed to have her own side piece too, then I guess that feels a little bit better because it's more fun that way.
yeah.
But still, that would just be so weird because you would just be like wondering what was going on with the other person on their hall pass weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I had actually thrown this out to, on Instagram in my stories once, because I can't remember what story was in the news, but just this idea of having, multiple partners, and I was like, I'm a Sagittarius, I'm too crazy, like I just don't
Mm-hmm.
think I'd be down with it. However, the idea of it intrigues me because I'm a Sagittarius. I'm also very like non-committal, and I think that I get different things out of each relationship I've had. I'm like, oh, I wish that this guy had done this, and I had
Mm-hmm.
this guy and he did this part from this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the value of like not getting everything out of one person, because I think that's very difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so, a lot of people came back with some interesting responses about, because I was kind of like, okay, anonymous, like, have you ever been in like, an open relationship, and has it worked? Or, and
Mm-hmm.
it was 50-50. I will say that 50% of the
Really?
people said that it did work for them. It was normally, a lot of the responses was it worked for them until the dude broke the rules. It's usually the dude breaking the
It
rules.
worked for them until it didn't work for them.
Exactly.
But how
But
long does it take for it to go left? I'm going to say just a couple months.
I don't know. I mean, some people said there was one interesting response that somebody said, like, I did it, it worked, and I would absolutely do it again. And I was kind of like, oh, well, that was interesting, because I would have assumed if this situation was working, you would just keep it going forever, because why
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't you? But I guess like anything, any relationship, right? It sort
Yeah,
of runs
people
its
just
course.
break up.
And maybe you were, because I always think, especially if it's like a threesome, probably two of you were getting along really well. There's maybe a
Yeah.
third person that
Yeah.
maybe isn't having a
Yeah.
great time, and they
Who
backed
ruined
out.
everything. There's a third person who ruined everything.
Or just wasn't getting
Always
as much
ruining
attention.
everything.
Like, yeah, like who knows? But especially, I think that when you're that level of rich, right?
Mm-hmm.
Millionaire is one thing. Billionaire, you
Yeah.
feel pretty invincible, and you also just feel probably like, I don't you don't play by rules. Billionaires do
Mm-hmm.
things like, we're gonna go to space today. Like, what was that saying? We're gonna go to space today. That's the thing that billionaires think about. They don't have rules.
Yeah, they don't have rules. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because they have access, they can just kind of, I'm sure that woman was more than willing. I mean, whatever. She probably really liked him. Now, who are they going to date now? Like, what's happened? You think, what if he gets with that lady?
Well, who, like, Jeff's ex-wife, what's her, Mackenzie. Mackenzie started dating what, like a science teacher?
Yeah, who
Is that,
cares?
that's what I'm
She has
saying. Like, I
billions of
think
dollars.
you now marry for love. Like, they probably did love these. I'm sure she loved Jeff when she met him. And I'm sure that she loved Bill. But like, now you don't have to worry about like, it's just full on. Like, I just want a dude that's like fills all the things I need him to fill, because I don't need him to have certain things in this department that maybe I was looking for in my 20s or something.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't have to pay your bills and do or anything like that. You're completely just financially secure. So yeah, he can
just get you a good old, good dude,
just a nice guy. Just a nice guy. So what you're saying is you should marry for money the first time and then marry for love the second time.
You know,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm not saying
I'm just kidding.
I don't think I'll ever get married, unfortunately. I don't think anybody will put a ring on it. But if they did,
No, I'm totally just kidding.
at this point, like, yeah, who knows? I'm just
No,
marrying for somebody who's not going to leave the bath mat all curled up when they get out of the shower. I have my expectations.
Like, that's the problem about being single for a while, is you just start to get into your like set in your kind of things. And yeah, the idea that like someone would just
be in my space,
be in my bathroom, be like in my bed every day. Like, no thanks.
I know. Like,
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, I was just, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird if I get in a relationship because I've been living, the pandemic just extended it, right? Because it's like now it's been like a year and a half or whatever year where I've just been like completely by myself basically. So now it's just like even more compounded, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but that's not what Hot Girl Summer is about. That's more, Hot Girl Summer's for what did you describe as hot pockets and situationships.
Yeah, and I call it a hot pocket because hot pockets are things that you want when you come home drunk in the middle of the night, and they're maybe not the best for you, but they fulfill the need. It fulfills the need. So that's why I call them hot pockets, by the way.
Ah, okay. Well, here's to hoping everybody gets a hot pocket this summer, and that everybody's looking forward to Hot Girl Summer. And I hope you guys are all getting vaccinated.
All those things.
It's a responsible thing to do.
Get your Hot Girl Summer on, get your hustle on, and find you your own Bill Gates. Or you go be the Bill Gates, whichever it is you choose to do, whatever it is. So happy you joined us again. We will be back next week with more cocktails, more hustles, and more crazy stories that we will share with you. And also don't forget to join us on Clubhouse every Wednesday. Follow us there. And of course, follow us on our social. You can follow me, Kiki Monique, at The Talk of Shame on Instagram and TikTok.
And you can follow me at Vanessa Cantave, CANTAVE, on Instagram.
See you next week.
Bye.
Moms vs. Aunts is brought to you by CafeMom. Our theme music is composed by Coney Island Music. We want to hear from you. To give us your comments, leave us a voicemail at 929-265-0277, and we might include them in the show. You can also reach us by email at momsvaunts@gmail.com. Remember to rate, review, and follow Moms vs. Aunts wherever you get your podcasts. And for more parenting stories, real talk, and entertainment news, go to cafemom.com.